Hi guys, today we're doing a little video with Tom Connery. He runs a YouTube channel on Duda. He does template videos, he does guides on Duda and using Duda. Today we'll be going over a couple of questions about how did he get into website development and design, software development, about his company. Is it Ini Media? Is it?
Right.
Ini Media and Duda, Learn Duda as well. So, how did you get into website design and development? Take us all the way back, and how did you get into it? How did you start? So, go ahead.
Sure. It's a long time ago.
Yeah,
Um, I think the first time I really experienced HTML and playing with some code manually was probably in like
yeah,
96 or 97. I was in a community college way back then and
right, yeah, yeah.
got to build a web page for the first time. It was pretty cool. But
Really?
long before that, when I was a kid, we had a Commodore 64. And my
Yeah,
mom would buy like programming books where you type stuff in and see what happens on the screen. And
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that was fun to do.
Excellent, excellent. Completely. So, how did you get sort of into the Duda sort of website builder? How did how did you become familiar with it? Did you use a previous builder before, like
Yeah.
WordPress or something of that nature?
Yeah, I've used WordPress probably more frequently than other ones in the past. But
Yeah.
I ran a website actually based on comic books and comic book reviews and experimented with
Oh,
AdSense and stuff
really?
like that for a couple of years. It was the first
Yeah.
time I did like affiliate sales too. So
Oh, wow.
I learned how it all worked, learned how to do it, and I didn't want to commit to it. I
Yeah.
gave the domain to a friend and let him run with it. But
Yeah. Yeah.
learning that was great because it kind of showed me what was possible.
Mm.
And then probably a couple of years, a year after I quit that, a friend of
Yeah.
mine came to me. He had a business and he was a welder,
Mm.
and
Oh, wow.
he sold custom security cages
Yeah.
for HVAC units that go outside.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he had a WordPress site. He was a co-owner of the business, and he now became the primary owner. He wanted to get a new website running that he could sell online and just do more with it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I was just researching different platforms, and I came across Duda back in
Right.
2016,
Yeah.
and it
Yeah.
just everything felt right about it. And then the white
Yeah.
label capability, where I thought, well, maybe long term I can do this for other people. So
Mm.
I'll just learn it now and get started. And it worked really well for him.
Yeah.
So I actually
Yeah.
owe a lot to him for
Yeah.
asking the question, hey, do you do websites or can you
Mm.
help me with this?
Mm. Mm.
And that just kind of led me down the path.
Oh, wow. So, going back to the kind of the comic book, was it the online website for the comic book? So, is that still up and running, or is it closed now?
Nope. No, I think the
No.
person who I gave it to just didn't maintain it and they shut down the domain.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great domain too, but I think he let it go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Somebody else bought it and I lost it now.
Yeah. No
But
worries.
that's okay. There's always a new
Yeah.
opportunity if someone wants to do that.
Yeah, completely. I mean, when I started out, I actually started out doing t-shirt printing back in college, and I was really into skateboarding, and I was doing kind of t-shirt printing, and I was selling it on Big Cartel. Are you familiar with Big Cartel? Have you heard of them
No.
before? They're kind of like Shopify, but like not as good really. And I kind of became interested in how do you sell online with e-commerce and things of that nature, and reading blogs. Shopify do a great blog on how to sell online, and I got really interested in how I actually gain more customers online. So that takes me to sort of my next question. With your new business, or I don't know how new it is, is it how I need media?
Yeah.
What's kind of the goals of that? Is it building an agency, or is it kind of like a freelancer model? How does it work?
Well, it shifted. So I initially started out last
Yeah,
year in the
yeah,
summer or so. I think I launched in the summer of last year, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to build an agency. I worked
yeah,
for a number of different agencies doing website work and some SEO work, and I'm like, I'll just do it for myself. Start
yeah,
selling
yeah,
locally,
yeah,
and then it just didn't work well for me, or I wasn't putting enough time and effort into getting leads.
yeah,
So I
yeah,
thought I thought I'm good at due to websites, so
mm,
maybe I should just focus on my niche a bit, right? Um,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
other agencies are looking for this type of work,
mm,
for the ones who don't want to outsource too much.
yeah,
And so I started building a lot of connections
mm,
um,
mm,
with
yeah, completely.
agencies. And once I did that, it was probably in the fall, maybe winter, I shifted
Mm,
my messaging on the site to
yeah,
be I build websites for agencies, due to websites. So now
yeah,
organically, people typing in due to website builder, due to website design, whatever, I'm starting
yeah,
to rank better there, and I'm
yeah.
attracting more people like agencies who want to hire someone like myself.
Yeah, yeah, it's always good to niche down to something, especially Duda. It's kind of the rate. That's kind of the idea I was going around, because if I would have to make a video on local SEO, for example, I mean, there's so much content around local SEO. But if you were to put Duda in the name, in the title, and you're focusing on Duda, then you've got Facebook groups and you've got kind of like a niche audience to target. So I really like the way you've done that. So in terms of getting leads online and things, and how you get leads from business owners and things, is it, as you said, do people search up Duda and they find your website? Do they search up Duda website builder? Do they come through the website, or do they come through your YouTube channel? How do you usually do kind of lead generation?
A lot of my website results are mostly organic now.
Yeah,
I do have
yeah,
a lot of direct leads from YouTube's probably the biggest direct leader I have.
yeah, yeah.
I just got lucky there because I recorded the overview video last
Mm,
year in September, actually. So it's been almost a year
yeah,
old now,
yeah, yeah,
and it has almost 10,000 views.
yeah, yeah.
Um, and
Definitely. I'll
that
leave a
that
link.
got me a lot of, I don't know if it got
Yeah,
me a lot of direct traffic, but a lot of
yeah,
visibility. Some of those people, I've gotten jobs from comments on YouTube.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that's, really opened my eyes on YouTube, and I actually love it.
Mm,
And I
mm.
actually just released a video this morning, ironically. But I
Oh,
want to
really?
commit more to YouTube in my future.
Mm,
Um, I want to commit more to the Learn Duda aspect, which we haven't talked about yet. And
yeah,
I may
yeah,
shift away from trying to build site after site after site every day. And it's really
mm,
actually been my side hustle. It's not my primary job.
yeah, yeah.
So I'm trying to shift my focus a little bit at the moment.
Yeah, yeah. So from what I understand, you do build software full time, don't you?
I don't. I'm not a developer.
Oh, yeah,
I've done some
yeah,
development, one of my younger days in school, but
yeah,
I've
yeah,
done mostly a lot of software support, what they
mm,
call services, which is implementation,
yeah,
launching software for clients, and then
mm,
making sure that software companies retain and grow their revenue by managing those clients successful.
yeah,
So that's been
yeah,
a lot of what
completely.
I do over time.
Yeah, yeah. Excellent. So when you get a new client and things of that nature, what's the sort of process they go through? Do you have like an onboarding process? Do you take them through a questionnaire, give them a proposal? What sort of process do you have in place when a client comes through the website or they comment on one of your YouTube videos? What's the sort of process you have in place?
I think mine's different because I'm not really targeting the small business owner.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I don't have the best feedback or a ready to go checklist about selling to the, small
mm,
business down the street from me. A
yeah,
lot of the agencies who contact me, they've been selling websites. They know what they're
mm,
doing. They already have their
yeah,
own process, and I sort of adopt into whatever process they need.
yeah,
We use Slack for collaboration quite heavily with multiple agencies.
yeah,
Um, some of them, some agencies have better processes than others. I
mm,
have to
mm,
admit that.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. Yeah, it all comes with experience at the end of the day, really, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Um,
but I've gotten situations where I'm handed a wireframe, right? No
yeah,
template, start, no nothing,
yeah,
and I've
yeah,
completely built Duda sites now off of just wireframes,
yeah,
and some
yeah,
people really like that ability, just because people
mm,
feel a little bit limited by the templates, which I don't think it's a limitation. Duda has over 100 templates now,
yeah, yeah. It's
so
crazy. Yeah,
if you can't find a Duda template as a starting point that you could
mm,
imagine your brand being, aligned
mm,
with, sure, change the logo, change the colors, whatever. But as long as
yeah,
you get that initial landing page started and you've got the copy you want, they've got
yeah,
100 plus templates available. So I think
yeah,
starting with a template is the best option to do.
mm,
And
mm,
actual designing, wireframing, and all that
mm.
it's optional in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah, completely. Yeah, it does kind of give you a plan as to what you're going to do with the website. And they're always bringing out new sort of features and things, as you mentioned in our last conversation. They're always bringing out new kind of different ideas and things to bring to the table when compared to other, website builders and things. So when you do kind of, as mentioned, go back to the lead generation, so they mostly come through YouTube, did you mention? So they come through
Yep.
comments and YouTube and things of that nature. I mean, I've noticed that from my own kind of experience. Most of my clients are starting to come through YouTube, because it kind of gives that sense of transparency with the business as well. They know exactly, kind of brings a face to the business, I like to say. Um, so people can kind of get to know your processes and things of that nature. So I would personally, and I'm sure you'd recommend, to start doing content on YouTube, if you are, trying to get your foot in the kind of website design and marketing game. So that brings me to my next question. Sort of what kind of advice would you give to someone starting out, in the SEO or web design kind of industry?
Okay. Well, again, what happened to me last year where I was going too wide, it just
Mm,
hurt me. I wasn't getting traffic, and the domain was new too. And I kind of realized how long it
mm,
takes to get traction on Google
yeah,
and the internet.
yeah,
So the number one thing you have to do
mm,
is pick something you like doing and
Yeah.
you're good at it already, or you're going to be quickly good at it based on your skill set.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't try to boil the ocean. You
Yeah.
got to go after one thing. And
Yeah.
then, so once you have that one thing, and you start getting jobs in that one thing, then start
Yeah.
expanding from there. It doesn't really matter
Yeah.
what it is, whether it's SEO, maybe
Yeah.
you become a structured data specialist or something, and that you spend all your
Yeah.
time on Google figuring out
Yeah.
how to build those quickly for clients.
Mm,
Uh,
mm.
just pick one area that you kind of master, start
Yeah.
selling
Yeah.
that, and then expand from there.
Yeah, completely. Stick to what you know, really, is the best word of advice. Yeah, completely. So just going back to, because I like to speak about how to kind of manage clients on my channel. I like to speak about I like to preach how to build relationships with clients and things of that nature. Um, so what do what would your advice to build a relationship with a client? What would your kind of, to build that client retention with keep them coming back for more? What would be kind of a tip on doing, something like that?
Yeah. Ironically, I think this is one of my slight competitive advantages because I've worked in the
Mm.
enterprise software world for a number of years.
Yeah,
One of the
yeah,
roles I've had was called a customer success manager.
yeah,
And
right, right.
the whole premise of that job function
Yeah,
is to retain your client and
mm,
expand it. Actually, you need to eventually make more money with the client.
yeah, yeah,
The key thing with managing any account or individual, no matter how much money they spend, it's that
yeah,
you have to understand why they signed up with you in the first place and
mm,
what is the outcome they are trying to achieve with you. It's
right.
very possible that you fulfill a client's outcome in a small amount of time
Yeah,
and they
yeah,
don't really understand how to continue the service with you, right? It
mm,
could be a one-time purchase thing and you provided them what they needed, they got it and they're done.
mm,
A
mm,
lot of what we do now is subscription based and we
right.
want to sell subscriptions.
Mm,
And as soon as you go down that path, you have to formulate some type of retention plan. It
yeah,
can be monthly reporting, it can be quarterly, like actual success plans, well thought
right.
out, documented. Here's where you were last quarter.
Mm,
Here's where you are right now. Here's what we see happening in the marketplace.
mm,
Here's how some of your competitors are doing.
mm,
If you can go beyond that, right? If you can go in that
mm,
on that road with your customer,
mm.
I think you'll have longer term relationships and most likely more success in the long run, and they'll probably end up buying more services from you.
Yeah, yeah, completely, completely. Yeah, you couldn't have said it better, really. Yeah, no. So, what we mentioned earlier about, obviously there's I Need Media, and then there's kind of Learn Duda as well. So, is that kind of like an extension of your agency, you could say?
Yeah, you know what? I'm now thinking of going completely separate
Yeah,
ideas because they all have their own uh, client, their own
yeah,
target. So
yeah,
Media is it's funny. I added one side service that I started offering has nothing to do with Duda at all, but I put a
yeah,
landing page on the Media website because I'm like, well, I got to put it somewhere.
yeah, yeah,
But just
completely.
recently, I bought a domain for a new service I'll be offering.
Yeah,
Learn Duda was an experiment that I started late last year, and I
mm,
really kind of dropped the ball throughout this year because I've been so busy building websites and doing the Media stuff. I haven't been able to focus on Learn Duda as much as I want to.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I'm trying to juggle and prioritize and focus on some different things right now.
yeah,
But I definitely see LearnDuda.com being its own thing,
yeah,
Media having its own thing, and by its own thing, I mean its own messaging, its own
mm,
target, its own content.
yeah,
I'll
yeah,
probably have 3 or 4 domains all trying to drive unique
mm,
traffic to it. A couple of
mm.
them are Duda related, but I'm targeting different people for different reasons.
Yeah, yeah. So, do you have any? Obviously, you have. I understand it's like a kind of course kind of system, isn't it? So they purchase a course, if I'm not wrong, and they go ahead and obviously learn how to use Duda and things of that nature. How many
Yeah,
courses, or kind of what courses do you have currently on there, and what do they
none.
consist of? None so far, right? Yeah, because
Right.
I did
So
notice on the site when I was looking on there, I was trying to find the courses and I couldn't find any. So
yeah,
what's the
that's
situation?
the hard part. So
Yeah,
I'm trying to just capture emails right now. So
yeah,
the landing page is built. The Kickstarter course is on its way, and I also built one dedicated to Duda blogs because a lot of
right.
people I can't
Yeah,
blog on Duda. I can't figure out. I want to go back to WordPress. How
mm,
can I build a good Duda blog? So I'm like, okay, well I'll build a course dedicated to
yeah,
blogs. I'm really
yeah,
close on that one.
yeah,
Again,
yeah.
I just have to
Completely.
stop building websites and focus on that for another
Yeah.
30 days maybe.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, completely.
but what I'm trying to
Excellent.
do essentially is educate people that Duda
Mm,
exists. Here
yeah,
it is. Here's how you sign up, and here's how you get started. And
yeah,
then you kind of pick a path, whether you want to
mm,
DIY and do a small business website for yourself. I
mm,
can appeal to those people, or it's for someone who wants to start making money like I did on the side.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I went through 2 layoffs in my career. I've
Yeah.
got a family, and I'm
Mm.
like, I don't want to have nothing. I want to work on something besides my day job. I want to
Yeah.
have something that I enjoy doing. It can make
Yeah.
me money, for my family. And when times get tough, if they get tough, I
Mm.
have this thing available.
Yeah.
Little did I
Yeah.
know going down that side road would be so enjoyable.
Mm.
Someday I'll probably try to pursue that full time.
Yeah.
But we'll
Yeah.
see what happens.
Excellent. Yeah. So how has the kind of coronavirus affected, your client base and your work on the side at the moment?
You know what? Immediately, it did have an effect. I didn't realize
Mm.
it the first couple of months, but also wasn't going after work really. I was kind of just
Mm.
letting organic stuff happen.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I don't do any like advertising, by the way. I spend
No.
hardly anything. I keep my
Mm.
expenses really limited, and
Mm.
the work
Mm.
keeps coming. So I think that's a
Yeah.
good sign. I can only imagine if I was advertising.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the agencies slowed down. I mean,
Mm.
I think a lot of businesses got a little scared for good reason. So a lot
Yeah.
of marketing spend dropped,
Yeah.
obviously,
Yeah.
through
Yeah.
probably April through June.
Mm.
But once middle June, July came around, I started getting a ton of work again.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, completely. Completely. It was the same for me, really. I left the agency I was currently working at, that was doing SEO. And, as I left, on my furlough, I don't know if you're basically, in the UK, we have something called the furlough, and we kind of get paid for the work. We kind of still get paid, but we're not working. And it's quite rare to happen in the UK. It's only in times of this nature, like the coronavirus. And in that time, I was, working on my side business that I had on the side, kind of while working at the agency, and I went full time onto it, and it completely skyrocketed. In terms of clients and work and things of that nature, ever since I started doing YouTube and just focusing on the Duda niche. But yeah, no, I'm like you, really. I haven't done any paid advertising or anything of that nature. It's just been organic, just providing value on videos and things of that nature, and really just communicating with the people and networking with people in the Duda community. I would like to join I am in your Duda community. I would like other people to join your Duda community from my Facebook group, because I know there's a lot of value in there. So talk about the Duda community. How did that start? Do you provide a lot of value in there? Are there free resources and things of that nature in the Learn Duda community?
yeah, it's community.learnduda.com. So it's part of the
Yeah,
whole Learn Duda domain.
yeah,
And there's existing Duda has their own Facebook group out there for like Duda Web Pros. Again,
yeah,
really targeting the people who run agencies.
yeah,
And I thought I didn't want to go on Facebook. I know Facebook groups are extremely powerful,
yeah,
but I saw Tribe came across. Tribe's a community platform. They had an
yeah,
AppSumo deal one day. I jumped
yeah,
on it, and I'm like, hey,
yeah,
I want to experiment with that platform. I want to build a community off of Facebook and
yeah,
see if
yeah,
there's something I can do to serve Duda clients long term.
yeah,
It's taken months to kind of grow. I think I launched it in like March or something of this year.
yeah,
We
yeah,
probably have like 80 something people in there.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
but it's still in its infancy because,
yeah,
in order to get a community running, you know this, you've got a group. You
mm,
need to get some consistent VIPs rolling who are in there, committed to it and they're posting every week and commenting on people's posts, stuff like that. That
yeah,
just takes time to grow.
yeah, completely.
So what you do as to kind of the admin is you're posting there to try to keep propelling them, keep
Yeah,
adding
yeah,
value. Every time I learn something new, or I think it's something the average person may not know, I'll go post
yeah,
something. I
yeah,
share all my new video links in there. Obviously, I share any content I create. I'm
yeah,
trying to
yeah,
focus more on blogs now too.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
so I'm just trying to keep the ball rolling there, and more people keep discovering it because I advertise it in every YouTube video I do.
yeah, yeah,
And
completely.
the way I look at it, if I can help one person, maybe 1 week, and someone
Yeah,
got some kind of value from it, then that's good enough for me.
job done. Yeah, completely, completely. Well, I'll start kind of wrapping things up now. I want to sort of focus on your YouTube videos, as I know you have quite a large following on YouTube, as you've mentioned, and the video that you did, the kind of Duda overview, and it got quite big. I'll leave a link in the description below for you to view that. But that got quite big. And what's kind of your sort of process when you're going to make a video on YouTube? What's the process? Do you have like an idea? Do you think when Duda releases some new updates, do you say, right, I'm
Hmm.
going to make a video, maybe a guide on this?
Yeah, I'm still learning it. Again, I just started late last year. I don't have a extremely consistent process down. I try to do a minimum of one video a month.
Yeah.
I'd like to make it one video a week. But
Yeah.
again, because I've been working so much, it's been
Yeah.
hard to commit to that.
Yeah.
And my family moved this summer. That's obviously a big undertaking.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm definitely going to keep pushing forward in the YouTube direction. I do
Mm.
try to plan all my content ideas out. I do use
Yeah.
TubeBuddy. I'm an affiliate for TubeBuddy. I try to do some keyword research, figure
Yeah.
out what Duda related terms are ranking, what questions are people asking. I
Yeah.
use my community all the time to serve myself. If
Yeah.
they're asking
Yeah.
a question in there, maybe I'll
Mm.
record a video about their question.
Yeah.
But
Completely.
that's
Completely.
the easiest way to do it. That's
Yeah.
use your own group, use your own community, use your business
Yeah.
as sort
Yeah.
of a question hub when you can, and then
Yeah.
solve those questions by video or by blog or whatever. And I think that's a good starting point.
Yeah, completely. That's kind of one of the things I like to preach on the channel is always think from your customer's perspective. That's usually how any business, any successful business is thinking from your customer's perspective and their brain. So, anyways, thank you very much, Tom. It was excellent. You've answered my questions impeccably. I really, really enjoyed your, company and this. Yeah, thank you very much. Cheers,
Yeah,
Tom.
thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'll link your YouTube channel in the description below. If you guys want to check out Tom's channel, he's got some great content on there. I also recommend joining the Learn Duda community. He's also got some great content in there if you are trying to learn Duda. So thank you very much, Tom.
And we got to focus on our collaboration so we can do some Duda design work and then some SEO work with it in the same
Yeah,
video. We got to do that.
completely. Thank you very much, Tom.
All right.
And
Take
I'll
care,
see you
Leo.
later.